We're at our Leonard Draper Maintenance Facility. This is on our property, located near but not right next to the Depot and Train Museum. It, as you can see, is for authorized personnel only. But because this is a special tour and you are our special guests, let's go inside and see what kind of railroad artifacts from the golden age of railroading are being restored here. The building was built about 2 decades ago. Leonard Draper, whose name is on the side, he was a board member and left in his estate the money to build this. Up until we had this wonderful shop building, we used to do all the maintenance and all the restoration in the museum itself. Can you imagine what it would be like to tour the museum and see people welding and grinding and sanding and painting? Well, now we do it all out here. Inside the Leonard Draper Maintenance Facility here at the Lake Superior Railroad Museum, we have 2 tracks, so we can actually do one piece of work over here while another group of people work on a car over here. All of the work in the shop is done by a couple of trained professionals, but most of it is by volunteers. People just like you who volunteer to restore these old classic pieces of railroad history and turn them into the museum exhibits that we see inside the Lake Superior Railroad Museum. This is our current project, and it's a big one. It is the car 517. It's painted for the Northern Pacific Railway in what they call the Raymond Loewy paint scheme. And this is the Monad, which is the logo of the Northern Pacific Railway. This car is going to be restored and changed in appearance a little bit. As I said, it's a major piece of work that we're undertaking here in the shop building, and most of the work being done by volunteers. Let's step inside and meet some of the professionals on this job. This is an important car because we use it on our North Shore Scenic Railroad. It's one of our passenger coaches. But once we're done restoring it and changing its configuration a little bit, it'll be much more useful and enjoyed by many thousands of more people. Inside the car, we have completely gutted it. We have completely taken out all the seats. And it's what they call, in restoration, tunneling the car. So the car's been tunneled. Now, think of it as a blank canvas that we can create on. And one of the people doing the creating is our assistant shop foreman, John George. John, what are you doing today?
Well, I'm prepping the wall for painting, and obviously we're taking other boards off and getting ready for cleaning up the inside of the car and painting it.
A lot of work has gone into this already. Who's been doing all the work?
We have some wonderful volunteers that come in on Wednesday, and they did most of this. Getting the seats out of here was kind of a real hassle, but we got them out, and the volunteers helped a lot, and Dennis and I just keep picking away at things here, and as we have the chance to.
Well, don't let us stand in your way. You get back to work. Your time is valuable.
Okay, thanks.
The car, as I say, has been tunneled. We're going to keep some of the bench seats here, as you see in the past, with the regular configuration of a coach. But on this part down here, we're going to put in tables and chairs and make it into a table car so people can play cards, have lunch, enjoy a drink or something while they're traveling on the beautiful North Shore Scenic Railroad. One of the cool areas in this car happens to be this little nook back here. It was originally a smoker's lounge. So the people would come back here, there were cushioned seats, and you could sit back on a sofa and smoke, have a cocktail if you wanted to. And though you can't smoke in the car today, this is mainly used as a children's play area. And they just love being in here, especially if their folks are out there. One of the neat aspects of the shop is this hole in the floor. We call it the pit. But it allows us to put a locomotive over the top and work underneath on the motors and the traction motors that actually power the wheels. We can work underneath passenger coaches, cabooses, all sorts of equipment. We're very fortunate to have this hole in the ground. Most shops and railroad museums like ours aren't this lucky to have a pit area to work in. And we're lucky to have this whole shop because we can continue to do restorations, which means pieces of history can be saved, preserved, and put on display at the Lake Superior Railroad Museum. And now you get to see behind the scenes where all the work is done. So it's crazy time. We're closed, but we come to you. Look for another episode very soon of our behind the scene video tours. In the meantime, remember, wash your hands, cover your coughs, don't touch your face, keep that social distance, and let's take care of each other.